My name is Jamesia McKibben, and welcome to the Ho Ho Holiday Historian Special. On today's show, we will be talking about the Louisiana Purchase. For those of you who may not know about the Louisiana Purchase, it started on April 30th, 1803. It was between Napoleon Bonaparte and Thomas Jefferson. It took place in Paris, France. The United States paid $15 million for Louisiana. This purchase was made because the United States needed more land and Napoleon needed to sell land, and because he needed money to fund his army. Now we would like to welcome our two historians that studied this event, Miss Amari Horne and Lauran Leader. Oh, there you are. Hi. Hi.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too.
Nice to see you again, Jamesia.
You too.
Glad to be here.
Okay, I would like to ask you guys a few questions on the Louisiana Purchase.
No problem.
How did this whole situation come about?
Well, as you stated, because I was being nosy, Napoleon needed money to fund his army, and the United States needed to access the parts of New Orleans.
What was one problem that the United States had?
The United States didn't have any ports on the Gulf of Mexico, and farmers in the western areas had to ship their crops on boats down the Mississippi.
Mississippi River, you said. What did the United States gain in 1819?
The United States gained the rest of Florida. Spain was afraid that the United States would take over Florida, so they decided to sell a part of it. With the United States having Florida, now they had control of all the Southeast.
Oh, really? What is the background of the Louisiana Territory?
Little do people know, Louisiana was discovered by French explorer Robert Cavalier de Saulles. He claimed the Louisiana Territory in 1682. In 1800, Napoleon pressured Spain to sign the Treaty of Ildefonso, under which he received the Louisiana Territory and 6 warships in exchange for putting the Spanish king's son-in-law on the throne of the country.
Why did the United States almost go to war over Louisiana?
The United States almost went to war with Louisiana because they had an arrangement with Spain that U.S. merchants would send their goods down to Mississippi and never store them in New Orleans without paying export duties. War almost started when this agreement was revoked in 1802 in October.
Why did Louisiana jump from France to Spain and back to France?
It was because of the Treaty of the Fontainebleau.
Okay. Describe the importance of the Louisiana Purchase for the United States and the difficult legal implications Jefferson faced.
The new territory would more than double the size of the United States and provide cheap and abundant land for farmers for generations to come. But Jefferson worried that the purchase was legal because the Constitution did not enumerate the authority of the president to purchase land. So he decided the government's treaty-making powers allowed the purchase. The Senate gave its approval in October 1800.
Okay. Y'all knocking my questions out of the ballpark. Okay. What contribution did Zebulon Pike make to American expansion?
Well, even before Lewis and Clark returned, Jefferson sent other explorers to the western wilderness. Lieutenant Pike, after leading 2 expeditions at the present-day Colorado, gave Americans their first detailed description at the Great Plains and the Rocky Mountains.
What was the relationship between the Louisiana Purchase and political power?
The relationship between the Louisiana Purchase and political power was that it was seen as unconstitutional, and the Federalists argued this.
What goals did Jefferson and Congress have when sending explorers into the Louisiana Territory?
Jefferson was interested in science, and Congress wanted to find the natural resources in the area and identify sites for the military force.
How large was the Louisiana Territory?
827,987 square miles.
what did the Treaty of San Ildefonso 1796 accomplish?
The Treaty of San Ildefonso in 1796 was an alliance of France with Spain against Great Britain in the French Revolutionary Wars.
Can you summarize the major role the Lewis and Clark expedition played in the westward expansion of the United States?
Upon their return in 1806, they had collected and recorded valuable information on people, plants, animals, and the geography of the West. The expedition also helped the United States lay claim to Oregon country. Later on, people were inspired to move west.
What is the Lewis and Clark Trail?
It was a way of designating the approximate path through the future states of Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, Idaho, Washington, and Oregon, and back. Because they traveled by river and rivers shifted their courses and had been altered by dams, the trail was not exact distance.
Okay. Why did Lewis and Clark make this trip?
President Jefferson had long wanted to see the lands of western North America. His scientific curiosity mixed with political interest with the approval of Congress, he made plans even before the Louisiana Purchase was completed. He asked Meriwether Lewis to head the expedition and chose William Clark.
What was the long-term effects of the Louisiana Purchase?
The purchase created a half-century of sectional conflict as the southern slave states and the northern free states jockeyed for control of the new territory.
Okay. Well, that concludes our tonight's show on the Ho Ho Holiday Historian Special. Till next time.